Varlamore's finally here. I've spent the entire week in the Perilous Moons dungeon. I'm going to show you everything this place has to offer, and I even managed to complete the collection log for all the new items in this place. Let's get to it. After 48 chests with no items, I pulled the Blood Moon helmet, and I then continued a dry streak at which I gained 90 strength, followed by 90 hit points since I was going quite dry on items. I went another 65 chests with no items, and I was considering quitting. However, at 154 chests, I got the Eclipse Legs. I pulled the blue tassets at chest 164. I got a duplicate ranged weapon as a back-to-back drop, which I was informed I should be able to gamble at the spirit. This was a bad idea. Do not do this, ever. When you trade an item in, it's the equivalent of one roll on the weapon table, which is a 1 in 120 chance at the item. You'll be better off putting these in Death's Coffer for the value, or selling on the Grand Exchange if you're a normal account. I got the Blue Moon Spear at chest 171, and a duplicate Eclipse hat at chest 175. And I got the blue hat 22 chests later. During this time, I did some AFK training at the Sulphur Naguas, and they are amazing to train at. I get about 110k experience an hour, lots of chaos runes, and 8 sulphur blades gained during a 10-hour training session. I got the Blood Moon chest after a bit of a dry streak, a duplicate Macoatl weapon. I'm fine with this, as I've fallen in love with this weapon. And I got a spear hat that this could be useful in a future video. I managed to get the third Eclipse range weapon at 265 chests, which I've donated to one of the clan members. And I finally got the last item at chest 274. This green logs the entire collection log, and this place is finished. I'll only have to come back in the future when the combat achievements get released. Here's a look at the total loot that I gained from here. I gained roughly 44.6 million in value, and I spent 32 hours killing the bosses this week at roughly 7 kills per hour. There was a further 8 hours the week before, bringing us just over 40 hours just on the chest. That doesn't include the time spent AFK training. Now that I've completed Perilous Moons, it's time to use some of these supplies. First off, I decided I wanted to turn all the Sunkist bones into bone shards, ready for prayer training. After that, I headed up to OSRS and got to work turning my wyvern bones into bone shards. I get 21 shards for each of these bones, so I have another 69,720 shards here to break down. That's now a total of 146,256 shards, and each one of these is worth 5 experience each. So banked is 731,280 prayer experience. Let's get to work. I haven't seen anyone do this method yet, so the most efficient way to do this was theory crafted by myself, using 1 stamina potion, bone shards, full graceful, and 26 wines. You take a Quetzal to Rallis's Rise, you use the wines on the exposed altar to bless them, and once blessed, run north to the libation bowl and spam click for fast experience drops. This is pure dopamine. Each time you click, you use 100 bone shards, and it costs you 2 prayer points. Once you've run out of prayer, click the altar just south to recharge, and then run back to the libation bowl. This is where the stamina potion comes in handy. Originally, I attempted to use Vasilis to unnote the wines, but he only unnotes bones. The closest bank I could think of was at the Hunters Guild, so I used the Quetzal to fly there to use it. I quickly resupplied and repeated the process. The blessed bone shards I had gave me enough experience to go from level 71 prayer all the way to level 77, with just under 60k experience left to go until level 78. I stopped after receiving 726k XP as I didn't have enough shards for another full run. The monsters in the Perilous Moons dungeons are unique and are only in this area. We've got the Moonlight Cockatrice. These have the same drops as normal cockatrice found in the Thremnic Slayer dungeon, and I can't really see a reason to kill them here. The Wormlings only have Wormling bones, but if you do them on Kona Slayer task, you have a chance at a Brimstone key. I only ever see these being done as a way to skip worms without using points. The next unique monster here is a grimy lizard. You can do lizard tasks on these if you want, and they drop a lot of low level seeds and herbs for farming and herb lore. They also drop oak roots, which is a weird drop. Just be careful as they can poison for 3 damage. And of course, my new favourite AFK monster, the Sulphur Nagua. Very AFK and have good drops. This dungeon was very well designed, and I'm glad I spent the week here after releasing this area. The next part I want to talk about is the armor sets. Currently, the only armor set from these dungeons I can't think of a good use for is the Blue Moon set. The special effect has a chance to do a melee hit when using entangle spells or free spells. Bursting and barraging doesn't hold much weight since the extra attack only applies to one monster or person in PvP. This leaves it best to use with the Ice Blitz level H2 magic. The thing is, I can't seem to think of where this would be viable as a good method. If any of you have any suggestions of where I could use this to get the extra DPS from the stabbing, please let me know down in the comments. Unfortunately with the Eclipse set I can't wield it yet, but that will be rectified in the coming weeks. But the set that I can use is the Blood Moon set. The special effect of this item is absolutely phenomenal. You have a 33% chance on each hit to do your next attack 1 tick faster, so your 4 tick weapon goes to a 3 tick. I have plans for where I'm going to use this, and you should see them within the next 1 or 2 videos. To round this video up, I finally went and collected the loot from Kingdom of Miscellanea. Since I've been busy during this series, I got a tasty amount of herbs and logs to turn into construction when I get some GP. The final part of this series I want to do revolves around Hunter, so I'll be working towards that over the next video. Until then, goodbye.